Hello people, and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines Modular Builds. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today's episode of Modular Builds is going to be a little bit inspired by something we did in the Cities Skylines build guide earlier this week. I suppose it's actually last week now, wasn't it? So when you're kind of building kind of a high density area and you come to place in your residential, they can look a little bit horrible, I suppose is the word. If you get some matching assets, they can look okay, but otherwise there's a lot of kind of different varying heights and colours, and it can just look a little bit odd and not really kind of give you the feel that you're looking for within your residential areas of a downtown area. So for today's modular build guide, we are going to need the Green Cities DLC is essential for this. And Park Life will also help you detail, although Park Life is not essential. So let's take this horrible looking lump of high density residential and do something a little nicer with it. Okay, so it's gone now. Let's do something a little nicer to try and tidy this up. So for the cost points on this, I'm going to be using the 2-lane road with grass. Again, you can use any road that you like. I'd recommend the smaller roads just because this is going to be quite a tight build, and you might want to save yourself a little bit of room just to kind of make this as nice as possible. So we're going to go ahead and place in a park asset, and my preference is the large playground looks quite nice here. You can place that in here, and then you will have enough room to squeeze a couple of park paths down. So wherever you're planning to build this, go ahead and place in a large playground or any other park asset that you like. You can build a custom park if you like with Park Life. It really kind of, it doesn't really matter which one you choose to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and box this park in once it decides it wants to behave itself. There we go. So you just box your park in and give yourself a nice green asset to kind of focus your build from. Okay. Then what we are going to do is we are going to begin kind of drawing out boxes of 4. So we have 4 straight tiles within the box. So to do this, we're going to come out by 300, which is actually 6 tiles. And then we're going to come out again. And then you just draw yourself in a perfect box, so you have 4 by 4 zoning tiles within the middle here. So it's nice and easy. So your measurements for a simple box are 300 by 300 by 300. So a perfect square. And then what you're going to do is you're going to replicate this as many times as you'd like, really. You just want to kind of draw it in just repeat this pattern to maybe fill the area that you're looking to fill. If you get a broken pattern here, it's fine, then maybe just move it elsewhere, maybe try it at a different angle, maybe draw one off down here. If you need to extend and get like a 6, then you can still just fill in the 4 by 4. Just make sure that you can maybe put a little path here or something. We'll show you how you can detail that as well. So I'm just going to carry on doing this, making lots of perfect squares. You can stagger these a little more if you like. You don't have to do them kind of right next to each other. You could possibly come out here a little bit and then do another one. So come out by 300 from here. And then just do it in kind of varying different shapes. If you get broken tiles, just keep trying to draw in the road and you will eventually get them to fit in. So that'll do nicely for me. Let me hook this guy back up to where our downtown was. So I now have kind of this pattern here. So lots of kind of random squares. And we'll be able to do some pretty nice things with this, hopefully. Let's also draw in a guy up here. So really simple, really easy. Then we're going to come into our districts and areas, and then I'm going to draw out a brand new district. So just a regular district, and then I'm just going to follow the road pattern. Just to get a rough idea, fill in some of these squares as well. Bring it down towards here. And then just bring it in. We'll put it up to here as well. So I'm just building this adjacent to where we put our tram park, which will be nice for Sims to get in and around the area. It's also next to our green commercial park here as well. So we're now going to come into commercial specializations, and we're going to apply organic and local produce. And then we're going to come into residential specializations and apply the self-sufficient buildings. And that's it. That is all we need for policies. So both of those policies come with the Green Cities DLC. And you can still do this without the Green Cities DLC, of course, but you know, it kind of, the point of doing this is to have the Green Cities DLC with the high density buildings because they look great. Then with these main 4x4s that we have in here, we're going to fill these in with high density residential. Every single one of them. Just like this. I'll have one here. I'll have one here as well. One there. I'll have one on the corner to make sure that he is in the district here. Let's pull him in. I'll have one here. And then I'm also going to go ahead and mix in some low density commercial. Now with the organic and local produce policy, your commercial zoning is not affected by low and high density. So it doesn't really matter which one you use. I'll have some more high density residential in here. And then some low density commercial along here as well. And we'll just make sure, let's actually bring this guy up to the edge here. Just makes sense so we can kind of blend it in with the rest of the city. And we'll have something up there as well. So that's going to be all our zoning. Maybe some commercial in here too. So kind of mix and match low density commercial with high density residential. And then let's see, maybe have another one in here as well. So just kind of find these nice big blocks that you've been working with. And yeah. So once you're happy with your zoning, you can sit back and watch your little area grow up. Okay, so nighttime gives us a perfect chance to have a look around this area and kind of see how much better specifically zoning, very specified size tiles will look as opposed to just grabbing a road and lining it with regular high dense residential like we have at the back of our downtown plaza from last episode. So I hope you all agree, it already just looks so much better. We've got some nice little commercial plots mixed in here as well. When they do grow. Oh, it looks like this guy's actually outside of the district. Let me make sure that we pull him in, and then he will rebuild as to our specification. And yeah. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and lob some different paths in here. Because I'll kind of show you an example of what you can do. So where I was mentioning how park life can come in to improve this, the nature reserve with decoration paths really look nice within this particular housing estate. So I'm going to drag one probably from here. I'm going to drag him straight up just to the corner of the road. And then that's going to give us a really nice dirt path with some rocks along it. And this really kind of cute little kind of string of lights together. And that's going to look really, really nice as we kind of surround this area with that. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and throw in some trees and some nice detailing and make a little bit of a border for this new housing estate to sit in. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so I've finished decorating it. I've just gone ahead and added in a whole bunch of pathways around it. A lot of nice different trees and lots of green, some nice rocks here as well. And you can see how nicely this National Park Nature Reserve path really fits in with this style of residential build. Some nice overgrowth around here as well, alongside kind of adjacent buildings. Again, you can kind of see where it just kind of ends here, so you can kind of transition into another area after this. There's nice little bushes around the edge of kind of weird shaped corners that we have, and rocks and trees and overgrowth in there. Same thing over here again, throwing in a little bit of colour, which fits in really nicely up against the tram line. So there's a lot of different kind of variations of idea that you can do with this, and we're all kind of focused around this nice little playground here as well. And this place will continue to look really nice as the buildings continue to level up. You'll have a whole bunch of really nice kind of real green skyscrapers. If you like this look of them anyway, with the campus DLC we now have the option to make it a historical building, which means that the building will continue to move through its levels and hold more people, but it will maintain the appearance that it has when you made it historical. So if you don't want them growing too high, then definitely just go ahead and make them historical. Again, you will need the campus DLC to do that. And if you do have Park Life, feel free to replace this with your own park asset, kind of how we placed this right opposite our tram park, which we built in the very first modular build, and we've now got multiple different people kind of floating in and around here. And yeah, this residential estate kind of sits really nicely at the head of this tram park, if anybody used this. So if you do have this in your city from the very first episode, feel free to put it on, attach it to that somehow, like we have here. And if you use the green commercial park, then it fits in really nicely with that as well. The Green Cities DLC, if you don't have it, makes your city look a hell of a lot different, and in my opinion it is certainly one of the better ones. Yeah, there's also some policies that you can apply as well, such as recycling, parks and rec, education boost, smoke detector, water and power usage would be good as well. Do recycle plastics, no, that's the recycling center, wasn't it? Do prefer parks even, and city planning. You can do kind of high-tech housing is going to increase your land value. You can high-rise ban if you like, that'll stop anything from going too big. Encourage biking would also be good. Electric cars as well would really fit the theme. So just kind of have a look through them and see how you want this area to develop. It's obviously very green. It's very clean, and it really is one of my favourite ways to build high density residential, as opposed to this. So hopefully you guys can see the difference in quality. Obviously you can make the regular stuff look better if you put more time and effort into it, but really within a downtown sphere you tend to have rows of high density residential, and there is lots of different types of buildings, which is fine. If that's your style, then go ahead and do it, it works. But for me, doing kind of the Green Cities version really just helps make your residential look a little bit nicer. And you can mix and match it with the low density local and organic produce as well, and that looks really nice. Like we're getting some nice shops in along here, like little farmers markets that are coming in. These things do look really nice, they're really kind of cute and green as well, and they fit really nicely at the foot of the high density organic. What I'll do now is I'm going to jump into Bogusia and show you how I implemented this into my city. You might not have all this room to play with, but either way we're going to go ahead and jump into Bogusia and take a look at how this works in a real functioning city. Okay guys, so this is Bogusia. This is the city of the City Skylines build guide. If you guys don't know, it's a tutorial and inspirational let's play that we run on the channel. Links will be in the description below, and more recent episodes you can find just by clicking on the channel. So the way I implemented it here, you can see I have kind of a similar layout. We've got the squares in a slightly different pattern here. They're kind of going from here and then up and around here. So when I rebuilt the city entrance into this part of the downtown, I had this kind of big no man's land between the beachfront and the highway. And it was a really awkward shape, but I didn't quite know what to do with it. So this is what we did. So these buildings are high level, so you can see how they begin to appear. You've got lots of really nice kind of green along the side of them. They do look really, really sweet, and I'm hoping you guys agree. You can see again, we did the same thing with the path. I've used a different type of tree here. We've got the low density local and organic produce in here. Path continues around the side and then joins up with the beachfront. And then kind of integrates itself into the highway as well, where people can jump on the bridge that flows over to the other side. And yeah, it looks really nice, and it's a way to use up, well, to either expand your residential area or rebuild a residential area if you're not happy with it. It's also handy for kind of filling empty, awkward spaces that you're not quite sure what to do with. Go ahead and give this a try, and let me know. Anyway, we'll jump into a nice little cinematic montage of the build town, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you have any requests for these modular build videos, maybe you're stuck for something to build in your city, or you can't quite figure out what to do next, or how to construct something that you do fancy building, but you just can't quite figure out what to do with it, then please let me know in the comments, and I'll try and put something together to try and help you out. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.